Do a little off-roading today. Kind of new to this bike. Guess I'm new to everybody. If I actually put this on the YouTube, but on Instagram I'm Rider Mick, and I'm on a big ass 1250 GS. Kind of a new to me bike. Just got it, you know, a few months ago. Really, yeah, I guess going on 2 months. Living here in southern Colorado, and wow, it's been a crazy week. It's a little cold, but not too bad. I know people ride in much colder weather. I guess I need gas. I didn't really recognize that until now. Kind of went the wrong way for gas. It's not that big a mistake. But anyway, I've been thinking about this motovlogging thing, and thought I would give it a try. Finally got my system set up. Funny thing was, I did a bunch of recording. I don't know, probably like last weekend, I guess, and as it turned out, I didn't record what I wanted to record, and on top of it, my audio didn't record either. So, and my camera like literally almost fell off on me. Luckily it didn't, but brand new camera, so I didn't really want to have that happen. My buddy Mike ended up getting caught up in a barbed wire gate. I missed that. That was a bummer. I'm sure he wanted to see it, or maybe not. But yeah, so try to get out today, see how this works for just a little bit anyway. I'll just do a little bit of recording here through the dirt, and yeah, we'll go from there. Won't be a lot of dirt right now just because I gotta go get gas, as it turns out. But after I get gas, I'll stop recording and get out on some 2-track, maybe talk a little bit more. Man, I was looking for music too, because I didn't have any voice footage on my other recording, and so I was like looking for music, and wow, that's super hard. Hadn't even really considered how hard that was. Got some doggos here. Already feeling a little rusty, and I did actually ride last weekend, but that was the weekend before. Like the weekend from going from that, it had been like 3 weeks since I'd been back on the motorcycle, and being on this new bike and bigger, I'm definitely still kind of figuring things out size wise, coming from a KTM 790, and Well, that was a great bike. I really loved it. And I may have regrets about having gotten rid of it, but got a good deal on this bike, and I was really excited to give the big 1250 a chance and see what it was like. Mainly just riding 2 tracks and gravel. Did a BDR this summer, Colorado BDR, and really loved it. So I'm really hoping to do more of that this next year too, kind of thinking about Idaho, maybe Wyoming. One of the two anyway. I got a couple of friends that are kind of stoked about maybe Baja in the spring. That could be really fun too. I need a little bit of work on some of my sand riding though. And I need crash guards on this big bike before I do too much of that, because I'm probably definitely going to drop it. It's not too cold. I think this BMW turned on my heated grips though. I did opt out of my vest, heated vest. I may regret that, but I'm not going to be out terribly long today. Just getting a little bit of riding, and like I said, I guess I kind of need to get gas, so we'll run into Delnort here and see about some gas. I'm going to stop recording for the pavement, maybe. Let's see. It's just a chance to get out. The weather's changing. Might be the last time I ride. Gonna fill the tank up and put some fuel stable in it. Move the bike from the garage to the shed, and see what happens with the weather over the next week or so. Usually here in southern Colorado we've already got a bunch of snow, but it is super dry this year. And it's been super warm, but we are starting to get down in the teens now at night. Today we're, bouncing around the 50s, but yeah, I probably didn't take that corner the best. That's alright. This is kind of my regular stomping ground when I want to get out and get a little gravel in, a little dirt. New to this bike, and I don't have any crash protection on it yet, so I've been a little hesitant to get too rowdy with it until I get the crash bars. Got those ordered from Alt Rider, but like a lot of American companies, they're backed up. They don't have any metal bar stock to make the bars, so they were really apologetic about it, which was nice of them. But I was also like, hey, it's kind of the end of our riding season, so don't stress it. Pretty good riding out here though, really. I mean, this is just gravel right now, but we'll get into some 2-track here in a minute. Fall and spring, this usually works out pretty well. Gets drier in here quicker than most places. Ooh. Sandy and silty in some of these corners right now, just because we haven't had any moisture. I am still getting used to this bike. Maybe that's not a really good excuse, but it's my excuse today. And I am, of course, by myself today. Also watching it. Those posted signs are new. It's kind of interesting. I don't know if I'd ever been up that road or not, but I don't think so. Best thing about this is that usually there just ain't a lot of people out here. You may see somebody a day. Maybe other people are antsy. I mountain bike out here too. Probably, to be honest, I probably do more mountain biking than I do motorcycling. On a day-to-day basis, it's just a little bit more convenient. And it keeps me fit. Saw a pretty cool YouTube video. It's like the '1 thing you can do to train for motorcycling, and it ended up being mountain biking, and I was like, well, hey, got that part covered. Had a little bit of neck soreness. I think these ADV helmets with the visor sometimes get a lot more wind buffeting, you know, because of the visor. It's just my theory anyway. I also live in a really windy place, so most of the time when I'm riding, it's windy. I guess that's true for any motorcycle ride, but it's usually windy here before we start motorcycling as well. Take this turn here. I'm kind of tempted to buy a piece of property over this way. This is actually on the Continental Divide route. I think motorcycles use the same route as bicycles use. Pretty sure. I've seen motorcycles on this route anyway. And mountain bikes too, of course. That season is come and gone for the most part. Especially in northern Colorado, the high mountain passes are absolutely snow covered now. Some people like that kind of thing, but they're probably still passable, but icy, snowy, muddy, mainly muddy. Just gets really sloppy in the fall. As I mentioned, I don't have any crash guards on here yet, so I'm gonna, and really new to this bike, so I'm going to keep it a little bit dialed back than I might normally do here. Man, the 790 always felt, really for a medium-sized adventure bike, it really did feel like a dirt bike. And I really like that about it. I will say that the 1250, like in Enduro Pro anyway, the suspension is way more compliant than the 790 was. And I was on the 790, not the 790R. So it, you know, I guess they referred to it as a sport tourer, but in comparison to the T7, it was just about the same amount of suspension travel. So that was interesting to me. Obviously the 790 was a hot bike for a few years, and now it's been the T700. I think the 790, the KTM 790, the traction control and Rally Pro was a better setup than the Enduro Pro and the BMW. I really appreciated being able to dial in the level, traction control, and also the throttle. No trespassing on that section. Just kind of a shanty. I don't know why you'd want to trespass there, I guess, but the way I understand it, one shanty builder always wants what the other shanty builder has. So they still shanty materials. It's kind of a cool looking shanty though. I don't actually ever see anybody there. So we're just outside of an area called Elephant Rocks here in southern Colorado. A lot of two-track back here. Like I said, this is actually, well, I don't know if this section of road, but pretty close is part of the Continental Divide route. We're about to join it here in a minute. What I will tell you is I went with these pivot pegs. The BMW stock pegs were fucking horrible, and I can't even believe that. I mean, they were definitely made for just sitting, not for standing. So I got some pivot pegs and threw those on, and man, they hurt my feet. I mean, it's such a bigger platform, but it must be something about the pivoting, I guess. I don't know what else to think it would be. So I'm going to have to go with some kind of larger foot peg. Probably look at the Black Dog. My buddy Pascal seem to really appreciate those, so I do have a Black Dog skid plate on here. That was one of the first things I did. And then some other protection features. That's pretty important on these big bikes. I have the Moto Machine, or Machine Moto head cylinder guards. So I do have a little protection for the head cylinders, but I still really wouldn't want to drop it. But I came across this deal on this motorcycle. It only had 1,500 miles on it, and I think the guy who bought it had really hoped to ride it more and was just disappointed that he wasn't getting to, and it sounded like his job was like he actually worked for BMW and they didn't leave him much time to ride, so I was stoked to get the bike. We'll see how good I can get at riding it. like I said, the suspension itself is much better than, you know, the 790. Again, I did not have the 790R. I know that's more adjustable. And I'll be honest, like, even as a mountain biker, I really appreciate being able to get things dialed in. But on these motorcycles, man, it's just nice to get on and be able to ride and not have to mess with everything. And that's kind of a nice feature of this BMW. Like, it automatically, you know, sets your compression and rebound for your body weight that day. So if you gained a little weight, or if you're wearing a pack, or if you're riding two up, or have a bunch of luggage on, it just kind of takes care of it for you. Also takes care of like what mode you're in. So if you're wanting to ride it like a sport bike, it stiffens it up, and if you're wanting to ride it like a dirt bike, it softens it up a little bit. So I think that's pretty cool. And this one came with heated grips, which I've never had on any motorcycle previously. I am using them right now, though I may have to turn them off here in a minute. Some of my dirt bike friends give me a hard time for these big bikes, but I've always enjoyed the bigger motorcycles. I went from dirt bikes to basically the KLR 650 and kicked around on it for a number of years in the back roads of Oklahoma while I was in grad school. That was really my first exposure to like an adventure type bike. A lot of people like to diss on the KLR, but it gets a lot of people into riding, and gosh, this is such a pretty reliable motorcycle, really capable of doing most things with the right rider. And so I think I've had 3 of them, and went from the KLR to the KTM this spring. Kind of got back into motorcycle riding more and more over the last couple of years. Midlife crisis kind of thing, probably. And then I did a West 38 Moto level 1 adventure bike course in June of this year with Dusty and Casey. That was a lot of fun. Learned a ton. Did the BDR in July and pretty much used everything I learned on that course on that ride. So I'm definitely going back for a level 2 this year, this next year anyway. And I need it on this big bike. I am practicing the level 1 skills, and been thinking about, you know, if the weather holds, doing some videos of that too. And I definitely need that practice right now, because this bike, it's big and way more powerful than the KTM. And man, this scenery out here is sometimes just breathtaking. These big rock walls. small jumps there. Again, I'm still getting used to this one, so. Decided not to get gas back there because I'm going to top this tank off before I go home in case I'm storing for the winter from that point on. So I'll have to watch my gas gauge some here. But I'm digging this 2-track today. This bike's starting to feel really good. Added some knobby tires too. I think some Midas E10s, I believe. So far I've been happy with those. Like, certainly can't complain. I did a lot of Shinkos the last couple of years, both on the KTM and the KLR, and they were, I think the 804 and the 805, they were really good tires too. Hard, longer lasting, which I think isn't a bad thing sometimes. I get the softer tires, softer compounds hook up better. You go through more of them though, of course. Doing some kind of special event or something like that, maybe the softer tire compounds are the way to go. I can't really comment on these Midas yet. It's like my second ride, literally. Cold enough, getting a little bit of some nose drip there. Hear me sniffling some. Sweet. Still recording. That's pretty good. What does H mean? Hot? High? Somebody will have to school me on that. New enough to the bike, I'm not sure what H means. Maybe it means hot. Yep, hear the fan coming on. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we'll see. The back end of this thing wants to move around on me some, which is fine. Again, I think it comes back to that traction control. I don't think, even on if I wanted it to do that on rally mode in the KTM, it would do it, but I usually kind of kept it more dialed down than that. traction makes you faster. You know, I know it's fun to like roost your rear wheel. Get that. But yeah, traction makes you faster. So if you have good traction, you're hooking up more. Hot things off, so it was interesting that it came on. I'll have to take a look at that. Like I said, it's near enough bike to me. Ooh, kind of rocky in here. A lot of people are upgrading the wheels on these BMWs, thinking they're maybe a little soft. I don't know. My buddy Pascal, I think I'm saying that right, I apologize if I'm not, man. He was saying he was running full road recommended pressure after seeing Dusty ding a tire pretty bad. Hunting season, so people hunt this slope here to my right. I think mainly for mule deer. Can't imagine there are a bunch of elk moving in here. I'll say that, and I'll come up on an elk. Did some hunting this year too. First rifle here in Colorado. Got close, but tracked an elk most of the day. I just kept seeing his butt and kind of thick timber, and I couldn't never get a clear shot, and didn't want to shoot him in the butt. I'd like to have a mule deer license, or tag I guess rather, but they're kind of hard to come by. Man, for a big motorcycle, it really handles those little choppy, ledgy sections really well. I think this might be my turn. It's been a few weeks since I've been out here. Probably more like plus a month. Looks like they've been in here with the grader and did some work. This is Forest Service road. It looks like BLM, but all this is actually Forest Service. Trying to take care of some of the drainage, but I should watch that. That means we may have some softer than normal terrain in here. last year, my last mountain bike ride of the season, it was like literally the day before we got snowed in for the rest of the winter. As far as trails go, I was going like super slow and like hit a small little stub of a root and somehow went head over heels. I guess I was going fast enough to have enough momentum to pop forward, but same with motorcycling. I don't want to like crash on the last day of the season. Try to do other things like ski, though that's not looking real promising at the moment. For those that are going to be critical, I should be riding right, so I'm going to move right. But luckily out here we can, my sight line's really good. It's easy to get sucked into a lane and end up like running into head-on traffic. Just heard that rock hit my big dog skid plate. Or black dog, I guess. I like to call them big dog. They build good shit. They overbuild stuff for sure, so they kind of are the big dog. Little climbing site down here. We'll see if anybody's here today. Might be a little cool for him. Set down. 49 miles left of gas. Doing so good. Nope, no climbers today. That's an impressive wall though. It is way steeper than it looks from here. I would call it severely overhanging. I don't know, it's no cave or anything, but it's still really serious. Man, that nasal drip you get in a motorcycle helmet sometimes, that's a real bummer. But this is my normal riding. It can get exciting sometimes depending on how rutted out these roads, or we don't really get much muddy, but man, when it is muddy, it's really bad. This clay stuff is like something between owl shit and glue. How it can be slicky and harden up like a crazy concrete glue at the same time, I have no idea, but that's exactly what it does. Ooh, that was nice air. A little surprising. Some of these just kick you perfectly though. That wasn't so good, but it's telling me to go get gas now. yeah, so anyway, pretty soon folks will get to see my first ever YouTube video. Like I said, I kind of tried to do that the other week and it failed miserably. So probably just upload this completely raw. Try not to do a lot of editing on it. We'll just see where it goes. I don't know. I'm not trying to I don't have time to make money on YouTube. You gotta work at that shit. I have a more than full-time job in the nonprofit sector, in the outdoor arena, trails and getting youth outside. That did not sound good. Also a little bit of conservation, dark sky conservation. Thinking about a dark sky reserve out here in southern Colorado, and trying to be in conversations about wildlife and recreation too, and trying to find that balance. There is a balance. Alright, I'm going to try this, I think. Cut across all this terrain, come back by that other road I was on, grab a part of it, and maybe try to connect back over to Elephant Rocks proper. Not quite ready to get back on pavement or gravel. Having too good a time. Probably just let this thing run out, I think. I know these GoPro video batteries don't last long. Thinking about adding like one of the Inno, whatever it is, that like front and rear cameras that just hook to the battery. You're just limited by your video recording card then. But I think that's a pretty good idea for all your on-bike footage. That would be pretty nice. And then you can still do this helmet cam situation on occasion. I don't know if those things record sound. It may be hard to link up the sound and the video on those. I am using after watching too many YouTube videos on motovlogging, I am using a separate recorder, voice recorder. Seemed like a good idea, but I do have to drop the audio in separately, and I think when you just use the GoPro side, you can the audio stays kind of synced up. Because it's a pain in the ass to turn the voice recorder off. It's in my coat, so I'm gonna have moments in there that I've got to cut out to like match with the other video. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but we'll try to figure it out. If you get to see this video, well, then you'll know. Oh, that's my turn there. Didn't mean to be killing these bushes, but sometimes. That's a good little section of road too, but it just takes me back up to right where I came from. Having to really watch my right knee. My instinct is to tweak that knee, and it's gotten sore and sore over the year. I need to really work on turning my foot when I'm in those turns. Like now, yeah. Short, not a sharp turn there, but still a turn. Yeah, this bike wants to break traction all the time. I don't know if that's a setting or not. I think maybe that's something to do with the 1250 just being a big ass engine. A lot of low end torque. The 790, it was just, yeah, it just seemed to always hold really good traction. At some point this video is going to get cut off. It might already have. Up here I'll stop and see if it's still recording actually. I'm going to get a larger card. That should help. It still doesn't help with battery life. You just have to stop and change batteries. So anyway, what's the purpose of like motovlogging? I guess just to get my thoughts out of my head. I don't no expert on motorcycles. I'm no expert rider. Just like riding. Motovlogging seemed cool. I had some friends starting to make videos, and I was like, oh, that could be cool. I could really enjoy getting a few videos in here or there, especially like recording friends. Of course, I'm by myself today. I think that's okay. I do carry a Zoleo device on me. It's in my pocket. It's got a little SOS button, but you can also send messages, so you get two-way communication with it. I think those things are a pretty good idea. Especially riding by yourself, hit the ground hard, or if you break down, or gives you some way. These shoulder seasons, like, I'm not carrying a pack today because I wasn't intending on being out that long, but I'm layered well for now, but you know, come tonight I wouldn't be. Do carry some basic stuff, you know, if I really needed to survive. But I don't have like water. Okay, still recording. Mountain biker's got a little single track right there. It's just kind of an old cow trail that they've adopted. But I'm always kind of like, it does go away from the road, but obviously there, but the sections that it runs along the road, I'm like, why would you ride that? But, and I'm a mountain biker. Right now this bike would be too big for that, I think, or my skill level would be not good enough to control that. Turn over here somewhere. Guess I could miss it. If I miss it, it's okay. This is a good section of road to ride again. This looks like it. Alright, let's try this. I actually haven't ridden this section, so fingers crossed that I can ride it and it's not too bad. Or maybe this, actually I think I have ridden this. I was out here on the KTM one time, probably going a little too fast, riding right, you know, just in case I came into traffic. But I came up on a giant arroyo that I almost went head first into.